So hi guys, and welcome to our newest winter video from Flying Raven Studios. Now this one's going to be a little bit different to the normal videos that we do because we're not going to look at a specific technique or a way of doing a certain model or something like that. What we're going to do is we're going to delve a little bit deeper into the items that we believe every single modelist should have and needs to be able to have a really good time with the hobby. So sit back, relax, and let's start having a look. So this one's kind of a no-brainer. If you don't want cramp in your hands and you don't want to get your kind of oily fingers all over the models you've already painted, go for a holder. Now this is a Games Workshop one, but there are plenty of different other holders out there. They're normally designed so that they're better for grip and that you can then hold the model still without getting your fingers all over them. Or, in my case, before I got hold of one of these, ending up with the claw from holding the base so tightly and trying to paint. So yeah, a holder. Worth it every single penny.
Right, the next thing is something I didn't know I actually needed until I got it, and it was a game changer. I know that's not a sound it really makes, but you know that's a sound that goes to your head when you put it on. Now, a magnifying headset like this, it doesn't cost that much, but it allows you to see so much more detail. If you can see the detail, you can paint the detail. It will also help you get that perfect brush placement to get that perfect little detail exactly where you want it. This set comes with a lens cleaning cloth, a box full of a range of different strength lenses. It also comes with arms, so you can unclip that part there, clip that into there like that, and then you can put it on like so. Now personally, I find it a lot more comfortable to use the headband. It helps to keep them in place, especially if you were having to wear it over any prescription glasses, for example. Now this one does come with a little LED light on it, and that is quite handy for if you're doing sort of prep work and that sort of thing. But I do find it's quite a cold light, so therefore that may affect the colour. So I prefer to leave that off and use a daylight lamp to illuminate my workspace. Now, this particular set comes with 5 different lenses, and so far today that is everything I've needed when I'm working on the minis. Now what I found when I was using this was it made things a lot easier to be able to place my brush, but also because you can see right close up, you're not looking at the mini like this, you're not straining your eyes nowhere near as much, and it allows you to paint for longer because you weren't trying to strain to look at the little details in there. And also, I found it really helped with brush placement to get exactly where you want it to be. So if you haven't got one yet, I recommend to give it a go, and I'm sure you'll see the difference.
Next up is this little handy tool. It is a knife. Now, what you want to do is, you can get lots of different versions of this, but you want to get one that's fairly sharp. So something like the standard Stanley blade or something like that is fantastic. You can use this for anything from taking away mold lines to removing the smallest little bits of details that you don't want, to putting battle damage on or sculpting something out of green stuff. They are fantastic, and I wouldn't be without mine. So yeah, strongly recommend one of these.
Now when you're painting, and especially when it comes to colour and tone, light is critical. But also if you're working in a really well lit environment, you're not going to strain your eyes so much, therefore you can paint for longer. So one thing I would say is a must is one of these, the daylight lamp. The daylight part is down to the colour of the lamp. This can have a massive effect. Now the temperature of the light will completely change the colour of the paint you're working with. So for example, this is a shot of the mini, quite warm light bulb that you might find in your lounge, for example. This is the same mini, but under a daylight lamp. Can you see the difference there? Also, with this lamp, it's dimmable, so you can set it to the intensity you want, and it's perfect for wherever you're painting. Whether you're painting in a studio, or you're painting with it perched on the arm of the sofa whilst you're watching TV. Cracking bit of kit.
Now we've all had it before, using one of those knives that we've already commented on, and trying to cut off the little bits out of a sprue, and ending up either stabbing yourself in the hand or in the leg or, well, quite frankly anywhere, depending on how you're trying to remove the items from the sprue. But these are the answer. Cutters. Now, these are a fantastic pair. I've had these a little while now, but they've got a lovely edge to them down the side here, which means that they can get into the fine little detail areas and cut without crushing the piece that you are taking off. Now, that is the key point. You don't want to have the big fat ones that you can get, because if you do, they will just basically smoosh the sprue opposed to actually cutting it. You want to get some nice sharp ones and ensure that when you do cut them, you just do it gently. But yeah, these are considerably better for taking things off sprues than a knife. So recommendation, get yourself some cutters if you don't already have some.
Now, a paintbrush is a very, very personal thing, and some things will work for some people and not for others. It is down to you and what works for you. Now, choosing a paintbrush can be very tricky, and if you haven't seen it yet and you're not entirely sure what you're looking for, have a look at this video over here that I did a little while back, but it goes into what you're looking at with a paintbrush to find the right one for the right job for what you want to do. But saying that, and I've used loads of brushes over the last year or so, and yeah, they're not bad, they're quite good, but my personal favourite is these bad boys. These brushes are the Series 33 from Rosemary & Co. Red Kolinsky Sable. Their point is beautiful. If you go back through some of the more recent videos, you'll see these bad boys coming in, especially when I'm doing really fine detail work, because they hold their point beautifully.
So when it comes to painting, there's always an item that people seem to miss off the radar. You always get your paintbrushes, your paints, your paintbrush holders, in fact, and all those kind of things. But what people often forget and don't often pick up is a wet palette. Now, a wet palette is, in my opinion, one of the biggest game-changing pieces of kit that you can have from a painting perspective. It means that you can get that consistency in your paint flow. So it means that the water and the paint mix will be consistent across all of your projects or whichever you're doing at that point. It also means that you have a fantastic place for mixing paints. But not only that, you also end up being able to keep those paints for a lot longer and they don't dry out. I went through a long period of time of just using kind of the old tiles and mixing on my tiles, but if it was a warm day, the paint would dry out quicker than I was being able to paint the model, until I got a wet palette and realised the massive difference that you can make with one of these. Now, John's already done this video, so take a look. That's an easy way to make your own, but if you don't want to do that and you want to purchase them, there is a massive rafter out there. So please feel free to check out our links and see what you think.
So the next bit when it comes to upping your game is looking at some of the different types of paint you can get. Now, you may well have heard about technical paints. Now, I know Citadel does some, Vallejo does some, AK Interactive. There's tons of different more technical and effect paint. And I love trying these out to see what effects I can get. The ranges out there are massive and they can be quite daunting. So one thing I would recommend is try a set. Now, this set is by AK Interactive and I love this set, and you'll see it being used in a lot of my work. Also, another benefit of getting a set is that the individual parts of the set is often cheaper than buying them individually. You always end up with something you would never have thought of using, and as you've got it, you try it out and then you find that is really cool. I like that. So getting a set like this is a fantastic way of trying new things, pushing your boundaries and seeing what you can achieve. Now, another thing I found really helped was this set by Tamiya. It's a Tamiya basic file set. Now, there comes in 3 different files. You've got a round one, you get a kind of a curved one with a curved and a flat side, and a flat bladed one. These are really, really good, and they are fantastic for prep work. Now, I would recommend on these ones, don't press too hard until you get used to them, because they will carve through things like plastic or resin. You can use them on metal, but if you're careful and you go in gentle, they will do an amazing job when it comes to the prep work on your plastic and your resin minis.
Now, last up, and my favourite, a 3D printer. Now, this is the kind of top end of the spectrum when it comes to prices, so if you've been good and you've not on the naughty list, as they say, then this is kind of the ultimate gift as such, if that's what you're looking for. Now, there is a massive range of 3D printers, right from kind of your entry level right up to your professional, huge company level, and everything in between. This one is the Sonic Mini 4K, which I purchased about 12 months ago, and I've loved every minute of it. It's pushed my understanding of the whole modelling to a whole different level. So if you're looking for something to be able to design and customise your own models, to print off files that exist already out there, and to make your army or your collection really pop, then hey, don't look any further. This is the ideal thing. So go for a 3D printer. So that's it, the list. So there we go, the top 10 items that we think every modeler should have. Now, if you've got any questions or comments, please put them in the box below and we will obviously get back to you as quickly as possible with our opinions and any help that we can give. As always, hit the subscribe button, stay in touch with us, but do enjoy it, have fun, and as always, until next time, stay safe.